We're going to talk about the foundation for the third and last time. It's kind of an important session because we have a lot of clubs in our district that are involved in international service. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Jesse, in his presentation, kind of alluded to it when he gave a short discussion about global grants. Global grants, in effect, are international grants. They're large in size. In fact, they're in the 30, 40,000 range. And as I said, there are a lot of clubs that are involved in them. I guess it was Yale that mentioned water projects. That seems to be one of the more favorite projects, particularly in South America. Guatemala, of course, has been mentioned. I'm not too sure if the Guatemala project is really under the heading of a global grant because from what I have heard, that is more independent. And I don't know if any of Rotary International's money is used in that project. Are you familiar with that, Yale?
Yes, I am. Deborah, yes, Deborah has done Rotary grants, Rotary International matching grants, and she has an independent organization that she did some projects with also.
Okay.
She's very skilled at rounding up money and getting it matched by the foundation.
Oh, I know. I've seen her and I've heard her speak about it. She's very good at it.
Very touching.
Very compelling. These global grants are done hand in glove, as Yale just said. They're matching grants with Rotary International. The money is part of the money that we contribute to Rotary International. Comes back to us in the form of district designated funds. And those designated funds, a portion of them are used for our district grants, which we call community grants, which are more local in nature. And then, of course, the international or global grants that I'm talking about tonight. These are multi-club grants. You have an international partner. That partner is usually on the ground where the grant money is going. The U.S. partner is normally the second partner in these grants. Primary partner is the one that is responsible for not only helping put the grant together, but also reporting both to the districts that are responsible and Rotary International. And a word of caution, if you get into one of these with an international club, you need to make sure that that club has a responsibility, understands their responsibility of making these reports, because you cannot receive any other grant monies for a local grant you might want to do or another global grant if those reports have not been filed. We have a situation right now where one of our clubs, I believe it might be in El Paso, that cannot use any money for a community grant because one of their international grants has not fulfilled reports that were due last June. So you might check up on your international partner before you get involved in these. They're very effective kinds of grants if properly done, and obviously there's a lot of satisfaction in doing an international grant. If you take a look at your insert, take a look at the insert IS2. I think that is a really good example of the kinds of questions you should be asking yourself before you get into any kind of grant program, not just an international service program, but it kind of shows how you bring it all together. In fact, that's the title of it. Are any of you involved in grant programs now in your club?
Yes.
Yes, in Hobbs we are.
Yeah, right. Is yours the Bridges?
No.
The Bolivia project.
It's what?
It's the Education and Literacy Project for Bolivia.
Oh, okay.
And it's funny that you say, you know, things can be held up with these grants. We've realized that because there were some things, we had a community grant that was started and no one in the really knew what was going on, and there's some documentation that was needed, some reports that were needed to be done, and they weren't submitted, so that's kind of held up that grant a little bit on the district's end. But I think it's all been submitted as of this week, so they really do go hand in hand. You can't do one without the other.
Right.
It can definitely delay things. And one thing we've learned is working with Bolivia is that they don't have as much technology as we do. They don't have access to internet like we do, access to fax machines, email, scanners. So something that we could do and scan in and get sent over in a matter of 15 minutes, it's taken them about 2 weeks to get that done. So
I would comment, it's not just technology. Sometimes the attitudes or style of operating in another country can be a major issue.
mm-hmm.
One of our clubs here has been kind of in Rotary jail for about 4 years because they were doing a project with clubs in India and they just couldn't get the other side to complete the documentation.
That's right. As a matter of fact, the only reason I think that got cleaned up was both the Indian club and the club in our district were threatened with having their charters pulled.
Yes.
And Rotary International does have that leverage. And I think that finally woke up the Indian club. The Indians seem to operate under a different set of rules.
Yes.
And they're not very compatible with not only our rules, but RI's rules. And that one in particular, you're right, Jess, was an absolute nightmare and tied the hands of our district's club completely.
Yeah, and I would second my club personally has been in Rotary jail for about 3 years because of a large 3H grant we were a part of, and the other people aren't getting their paperwork in.
Yep. You need to check out your partner very thoroughly.
Absolutely.
And another form of international grant, which really has nothing to do with Rotary International, is a program that we've had in our district for quite a while. For a number of years, it was called a tri-district because the Colorado district was involved. It's now bi-district, which is District 5520 and our sister district across the border in Mexico. There's an annual meeting. It's usually in Las Cruces, where a bunch of clubs from our district go down with, if you will, pockets full of money. And the same is true of the clubs from Mexico. They will actually come up and have displays that are allowing the American clubs to see exactly what the program's doing. There seems to be some feedback from somebody. Somebody's doing some talking at the same time. It's stopped now. Okay. These by-district meetings are really an eye-opener and fun to participate in. If you really want to bypass RI and you're not looking at really large grants like the $30,000, $40,000 grants, my district is the way to go, because usually you can participate with the Mexican club for as little as $1,000. And I think very frankly, from our standpoint, from my viewpoint, they're really, for the clubs in our district and the size of the clubs in our district, they're more effective. And what you will find is the Mexican clubs are very anxious to participate in any project that our clubs want to do, because they have the same kind of money available. So it's kind of a scratch my back, I'll scratch your back situation, which is beneficial for both communities here in West Texas and New Mexico, as well as the state of Chihuahua. Have any of the clubs participated in my district?
Yes, we have in Taos, not every year, but we have some years in the past we have.
And the Del Sol Club has also participated in by district, and we have in this year as well. In fact, we joined up with 2 different clubs from Mexico, from our sister district down there. Only one of those is actually matured and is going forward. But we do this also.
Yeah.
And hey, I also, Dom, if I could share with the group, our club is also involved with a very large grant for a project in Bangladesh that actually does not have any matching funds from RI. So it is possible to do an international grant of some size without having matching funds. It just didn't qualify under the rules for the type of work that's being done. But we found enough participants that we were able to put it together anyway without funding from RI.
Yeah, there is a number of ways of skinning this cat, and multi-club participation is one of them, as Bruce just pointed out. Excuse me. That's also true for what we call community grants, the district grants. There's one going on right now that involves 3 clubs up in the northern part of the state. Any questions up till now? Okay. Just as an aside, since we're talking about grants, I know we're talking more about the international service projects, but I will tell you that applications will be accepted for the community grants beginning the 1st of June through the 15th of July. And there'll probably be $2,000 matching from the district. If there's no other questions, that's really all this section is all about, is talking about the global grants and how they operate. If you have any questions about them, you can find information both on the RI website and on the district website. And I'll be glad to answer any questions that you might have. Just give me a call. I'm in the directory. And we will have a new person managing the global grants beginning 1 July. That person hasn't been named yet. Andrew Andrew Garrison will continue to manage the community grants for me. And we'll be talking about these again when you go to PETS next month. I guess you know that Tom Walker is going to be the grants chairman, actually the foundation chairman for the district, and I'll be working with him next Rotary year. So if there are no other questions, that's really all I have, Jeff.